The trading station hung in the dark between stars like a metal flower. Inside, watched the alien fleet approach through the observation window. He had seen many ships in his 5 years working here, but none like these. The vessels moved through space like hunting sharks, all sharp edges and dark metal. Was the only human on the station. The other traders were aliens from a dozen different worlds. They all respected some feared them. They had conquered 47 worlds, each one more dangerous than the last. They were known across the galaxy as the species that could survive anywhere. The lead ship docked with a heavy clang, straightened his uniform and walked to the docking bay. The door opened with a hiss of air. 3 stepped out and had to look up to see their faces. They stood 7 feet tall, with thick gray skin that looked like armor. Their eyes were black and cold. The largest one stepped forward. "I am Fleet Admiral Is," the alien said through a translation device. "We require information about a world called Earth." Felt his stomach tighten. "I am from Earth," he said carefully. "What do you want to know?" Is tilted his massive head. "We have scanned this Earth. It registers as a Category 9 death world, the highest classification. We have conquered 6 Category 9 worlds before. We will add Earth to our empire." "That would be a mistake," said quietly. The other made a sound like gravel sliding down metal. They were laughing. Is leaned down until his face was level with. "You are small, soft. Your bones are thin. Your skin tears easily. We have seen your biological data, and yet you claim your world is defended." Met the alien's black eyes. "I am trying to help you. Earth is not like other worlds. Please contact our government, talk to our diplomats. Do not just attack." Is straightened. "We have survived the acid rain of Thorax Prime. We have walked on worlds where the gravity crushes stone to powder. We have hunted predators with molecular teeth. Your Earth has water and oxygen and a pleasant temperature. It will be the easiest conquest yet." "It has those things because humans evolved there," said. "Those pleasant conditions created us. Do you understand what that means?" But they were already turning away. Is looked back once. "We have reviewed your military capabilities, primitive chemical rockets, simple nuclear weapons, infantry that dies when shot. We faced worse on our first conquest. In 1 month, Earth will belong to the Empire." Watched them go. He had tried to warn them. He pulled out his communication device and sent a message home. 3 simple words: "They are coming." The response came back quickly from Earth's Defense Command. "We know. Let them come." Looked out at the fleet. 50 ships, each carrying thousands of soldiers. They had conquered 47 worlds. Worlds with methane atmospheres and crystal predators. Worlds where the ground itself was alive and hungry. Worlds that killed without mercy. But those worlds had not created humans. The fleet prepared to leave. Could see them through the window, running final checks on their weapons and armor. They were excited, confident. They thought Earth would be like the others, just another deadly world to add to their list. Thought about home. He thought about the Amazon rainforest where a single scratch could kill you with infection. He thought about the deserts that boiled during the day and froze at night. He thought about the oceans with their hurricanes and tsunamis. He thought about the mountains where the air was too thin to breathe. And he thought about the humans who lived in all those places, who had lived there for thousands of years, who had not just survived but thrived. They had conquered 47 deadly worlds, but those worlds had not wanted them there. Earth had created humans on purpose, had shaped them and tested them and made them strong through countless generations of struggle. The difference was simple. They had learned to conquer death worlds. Humans had learned to live on one. Is broadcast a final message before the fleet jumped to faster-than-light speed. "We go to claim Earth for the Empire. Nothing will stop us. We are the conquerors of 47 worlds." Shut off the communication and walked back to his quarters. He needed to send messages to his family, to tell them he loved them, to tell them to be safe. But he was not worried about Earth. He was worried about They did not know what they were flying toward. They thought they were going to conquer another deadly world. They did not understand they were going to meet the children of one. The fleet vanished into faster-than-light travel. The station grew quiet again, sat in his room and waited. In 1 week the fleet would reach Earth. In 2 weeks he would hear the results. He already knew what those results would be. They would learn what every creature on Earth had learned over billions of years. The planet was not the enemy. The planet was the teacher, and humanity had been its best student. Outside, the stars turned slowly in the dark. The ships came out of faster-than-light travel above Earth. From orbit, the planet looked beautiful. Blue oceans covered most of the surface. Green continents sat between them. White clouds drifted in peaceful patterns. Fleet Admiral studied the data on his screen. Temperature range acceptable. Gravity at 1 standard unit. Oxygen-rich atmosphere. This will be simple. His second officer pointed to a region near the equator. Large forest area detected. Dense vegetation. Suitable for landing zone establishment. Proceed is ordered. The human governments had been watching. In New York, the United Nations First Contact Team assembled quickly. Minu adjusted his translator and looked at his team. They are landing in the Amazon. We need to get there now. Sara, the military advisor, shook her head. The Amazon rainforest. They picked the worst possible place. Should we stop them? Asked the. No, Minu said. Let them land, let them see. 3 landing ships descended through the atmosphere. They landed in a clearing beside a wide river. The Amazonian sun beat down hot and heavy. The rear doors opened, and 200 soldiers marched out. Sub-Commander was the first to step onto Earth soil. He breathed the air. It smelled strange, wet and green and full of life. Establish perimeter, he ordered. Begin building defensive positions. The soldiers spread out into the forest. Within 10 minutes, the first one fell. He had touched a plant with bright red leaves. The plant's sap contained a poison that paralyzed his nervous system. He was dead before the medical team reached him. 20 minutes later, another soldier screamed. A snake, thin as a rope and colored like the branches, had bitten his leg. The venom shut down his organs one by one. The doctors could not save him. An hour after landing, 3 more soldiers were sick. They had drunk from the river after their scanners said the water was safe. The scanners detected chemistry. They did not detect the millions of bacteria that now attacked the soldiers' bodies from the inside. By nightfall, 7 were dead. 15 more were seriously ill. Stood in the command center and watched the death count rise. This is impossible. Our scans showed this area was safe. Moderate temperature. No large predators. No toxic gases. The threat is small, a medical officer reported. Microscopic. There are billions of different bacteria and viruses here. Our immune systems have never encountered anything like them. Then we move, decided. Find a safer location. Sir, another officer said quietly, how do the humans live here? Had no answer. The next morning, human aircraft appeared overhead. They did not fire weapons. Instead, they landed nearby. Minu stepped out, wearing simple clothing and no armor. Sara and followed him. Met them at the edge of the camp. He studied the 3 humans. They looked so weak, thin arms and legs, soft skin, small teeth. You are from this world? He asked. Born and raised, Minu said with a smile. I grew up in Seoul. Sara is from, all cities with millions of people. Millions, repeated. How many humans are on this planet? 8 billion, Sara said. The number was impossible. 8 billion living on this death world. Looked around at the forest. The trees seemed to press in from all sides. The air was thick and hard to breathe. Strange sounds came from everywhere. We have lost 7 soldiers in 1 day, he said. How do you survive here? Pulled out a small device. May I scan one of your deceased soldiers? I want to understand what killed them." Agreed, he led them to the medical bay, worked quickly, taking samples and running tests. After 20 minutes, she looked up. "I see the problem. Your immune systems are very strong against the threats from your conquered worlds, but Earth life is different, more diverse, more aggressive. Your bodies do not know how to fight it." "Then humans have immunity?" asked. "We have adaptation," said. "Our bodies learned over millions of years. Every human baby fights off dozens of infections while growing up. Our immune systems are trained by constant attack. We do not just survive Earth. We are products of Earth." Minu stepped forward. "Sub-Commander, I must tell you something important. This forest is not the dangerous part of our world. This is where we vacation. People come here for fun." Stared at him. "For fun?" "Earth has much worse places," Sora said. "Deserts where nothing lives for hundreds of miles. Mountains where the air is too thin and the cold kills in minutes. Ocean storms that destroy metal ships. Volcanoes that pour melted rock. Earthquakes that crack the ground open." "And you live through these things?" asked. "We live because of these things," Minu said. "Earth made us, shaped us. Every generation the weak died and the strong survived. For millions of years this planet tested us. We are what passed the test." That night more soldiers died. Some from infection, others from insects that carried disease. One fell into the river and was eaten by a creature with more teeth than seemed possible. The piranhas left only bones. "Sent a message to Fleet Admiral, is in orbit. Request permission to relocate base to less hostile environment." The response came back quickly. "Permission, the Empire does not retreat. Adapt or die." Looked out at the dark forest. Somewhere in that darkness, 8 billion humans were living their normal lives, working, sleeping, raising children. They did all of this on a planet that had killed 7 of his elite soldiers in a single day. He finally understood what his did not. Earth was not defended by weapons or armies. Earth was defended by being Earth, and humans were not weak creatures who happened to live here. They were the children of a world that ate everything else alive. The rain began to fall, heavy and warm. Watched the humans in the distance. They had made camp nearby. They had no armor, no protective suits. They sat in the rain and talked and laughed. One of them, Sara, looked toward the base. She waved, like this was all normal, like living on a death world was nothing special. Did not wave back. He was too busy trying to understand how humanity had survived, and wondering if they would survive even 1 month here. Fleet Admiral is refused to accept defeat. From his command ship in orbit, he studied Earth's surface. "The forest was a mistake," he told his officers. "We will establish bases in simpler terrain, mountains, deserts, coastal areas, places where the life is less dense." 3 new landing teams deployed, one to the Himalayan mountains, one to the Sahara Desert, one to an island in the Pacific Ocean. In the Himalayas, they set up their base at 10,000 feet above sea level. The lead officer reported success. Area secure, no hostile vegetation, no visible predators, temperature cold but manageable. Then the soldiers started getting sick. They could not breathe properly. Their heads hurt. Some fell unconscious. The medical team discovered the problem. The air had less oxygen at this height. They were suffocating slowly. "How is this possible?" the base commander demanded. "Our species can survive in any atmosphere." "Any atmosphere we have encountered before," the medical officer corrected. "But we never encountered an atmosphere that changes with altitude." That was when they met. She appeared on the mountain path above their base, walking alone. She wore light clothing and carried a simple backpack. When the pointed weapons at her, she stopped and raised her hands. "Hello," she said in perfect, learned from the translation files Earth had received. "I am a mountain guide. I lead tour up these peaks." The base commander studied her through his weapon's scope. She looked so small against the white snow. "You climb these mountains?" For work, yes, said. Some people do it for fun. Last year, 500 humans reached the summit of that peak. She pointed to Mount Everest rising above them. It is 29,000 feet high. The air is very thin there, but humans still climb it. That is impossible, the commander said. Our soldiers are dying at 10,000 feet. Shrugged, you are not from here. We are. Our bodies adapted over generations. Some human populations have been living in these mountains for thousands of years. Children are born here. They grow up playing in the snow. That night, an avalanche buried half the base. The snow came down the mountain like a white tsunami. 12 soldiers died instantly. The survivors dug frantically, but the weight of the snow was too much. In the morning, returned with 50 local villagers. They brought shovels and ropes and dogs trained to find people under snow. They dug out the buried and carried them to safety. Why help us? The commander asked. We came to conquer your world. Because this is what humans do, said simply. When someone is in trouble on the mountain, we help. The mountain is dangerous enough without us fighting each other. In the Sahara Desert, the base lasted 3 days. The heat during the day reached 130 degrees. The soldiers' armor trapped the heat inside. 2 died from heat stroke on the first day. At night, the temperature dropped to near freezing. The sudden change shocked their systems. More fell ill. There is no water, a soldier reported. Our scanners show the nearest water source is 80 miles away. Then we walk, the commander said. They walked. After 10 miles, 6 soldiers had collapsed. After 20 miles, they started dying. The sun beat down without mercy. The sand reflected the heat back up at them. It was like walking through fire. A human caravan found them on the second day. 20 people with camels and supplies. They gave the water and shade. The leader was an old man named who spoke a little English, which their translators could convert. You chose a bad path, said. No experienced desert traveler would walk during the day. Your people cross this desert, the commander asked. For thousands of years, said. There are trade routes across the Sahara older than your fleet. Humans have been walking these sands since before we had metal tools. We learned the desert's patterns, when to move, when to rest, how to find water. The desert will kill you if you do not respect it, but it will let you live if you learn its ways. The Pacific base seemed the most successful at first. The island had fresh water and moderate temperatures. The ocean provided cooling breezes. For 2 weeks, no soldiers died. Then appeared in a small boat. He was a marine biologist studying coral reefs. He pulled his boat up on the beach and walked toward the base with his hands visible and empty. I am not military, he called out. I just wanted to warn you, a storm is coming. The base commander checked his weather instruments. We detect no storm. The sky is clear. It will not be clear tomorrow, said. There is a typhoon forming 500 miles east. It will hit this island in approximately 30 hours. We have survived storms before, the commander said. Looked at the base. The buildings were strong but not anchored deeply. Have you survived winds at 200 miles per hour, waves 50 feet high, rain so heavy you cannot see your hand in front of your face? Impossible, the commander said. No storm is that powerful. Earth storms are, said. We call this one typhoon Myra. It is category 5. The ocean creates these storms every year, sometimes several times per year. We have learned to predict them and hide from them. You should evacuate. The commander refused. The empire does not run from weather. Shrugged sadly and returned to his boat. He spoke one more thing before leaving. Humans do not run from the storms either. We built our homes to survive them, but we respect them. There is a difference. 30 hours later, Typhoon Myra hit the island. The base was destroyed in the first hour. The winds tore buildings from their foundations and threw them into the sea. The rain flooded everything. The waves washed over the island like the land did not exist. 60 soldiers died. The survivors clung to trees and rocks, praying for the storm to end. It lasted 16 hours. When the typhoon passed, returned with a rescue team. They pulled them from the wreckage. They gave them food and medical care. They asked for nothing in return. Why, a soldier asked, why save us? Wrapped a blanket around the soldier's shoulders. Because that is what humans do. The ocean tries to kill us regularly. Storms, tsunamis, hurricanes. But we learned to save each other. We had to, or we would have gone extinct thousands of years ago. Arrived from the mainland the next day. He was a search and rescue specialist, bringing supplies and medical equipment. He spent 3 days helping the recover. Your world does this often, an officer asked him. Every year, said. Somewhere on Earth there is a disaster happening. Earthquake, flood, fire, volcano, tsunami. And somewhere on Earth, humans are rushing toward that disaster to help whoever needs it. We are very good at rescue missions. We have had millions of years of practice. The reports reached Fleet Admiral as one by one, every base failing, not because of human weapons, because of Earth itself. He read them in his command chair, his confidence cracking like ice. The humans were not hiding their strength. They were showing their truth. They lived on Earth not by conquering it, but by adapting to it, by respecting it, by helping each other survive it. They had conquered 47 worlds by being stronger than those worlds. But Earth was not a world you could be stronger than. Earth was a world you had to become part of. And only humans knew how to do that. Fleet Admiral stared at the casualty reports. In 3 weeks on Earth, the Empire had lost over 200 soldiers. Not one had died from human weapons. They had died from bacteria, from storms, from heat and cold and altitude, from plants and insects and animals that humans considered normal. This is unacceptable, he told his war council. We are the conquerors of 47 worlds. We will not be defeated by weather and germs. His science officer spoke carefully. Admiral, perhaps we should consider negotiation. The humans have offered peace talks multiple times. No, is said. Deploy the biological weapons. If Earth's own life can kill us, we will kill all of Earth's life first. Sterilize the surface. Then we can colonize safely. The officer hesitated. Sir, the humans will have defenses against biological warfare. They must have developed them. How is demanded? They are primitives. They have barely reached their own moon. On Earth, received the warning from orbital surveillance. He was a virologist working in Seoul, one of the world's top experts on disease. He immediately called an emergency meeting with other scientists. They are going to use biological weapons, he told the team. Our satellites detected them loading their deployment systems. Can we stop it? Another scientist asked. Smiled sadly. We do not need to stop it. Earth already tested us with every biological weapon imaginable for millions of years. Plague, smallpox, influenza, cholera, Ebola, malaria, tuberculosis. Earth tried to kill us with disease over and over again, and we are still here. But what if they create something new? They will try, said, and it might kill some of us, but it will not kill humanity. Our immune systems are trained by living on Earth. We have diversity in our genes that spans every environment on the planet. Whatever they create, some of us will survive. Some of us always survive. In a hospital was finishing a 30-hour shift in the emergency room. He was exhausted but still alert. Years of medical training on Earth taught doctors to function without sleep, to make decisions under pressure, to save lives when everything was chaos. A military transport arrived with a wounded soldier. The alien had been injured in a base collapse. His armor was cracked. His gray skin was torn. Blood leaked from multiple wounds. We do not have the equipment to treat him, the military escort said, but you are the nearest trauma center. Looked at the alien was dying. His species had come to conquer Earth, had threatened humanity with destruction. But right now, he was just a patient who needed help. "Bring him in," said. The trauma surgeon met them at the operating room. She studied this anatomy quickly. "His biology is different but not completely alien. I can work with this." They operated for 6 hours, assisted while repaired the damage. This body fought against the treatment at first. His immune system attacked the medicines, but slowly, carefully, they found solutions. "His body is very tough," observed, "built to survive harsh conditions, but not flexible, not adaptable. Once something gets past his defenses, his system does not know how to adjust." "Like their military strategy," said, "strong but rigid." When the surgery ended, the soldier was stable. He would live, sat beside his bed and waited for him to wake up. The alien's black eyes opened slowly. He looked around in confusion, then focused on, "You are human." "I am a doctor," said. "You were injured, we repaired the damage." "Why?" the soldier asked. "We came to conquer you." Poured a cup of water and helped the soldier drink. "Because that is what doctors do. We heal people. It does not matter who they are or why they are hurt. Pain is pain. Injury is injury. We help." The soldier was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "How do you live with such fear? Every day your world tries to kill you. Disease, disaster, danger everywhere. How do you sleep at night?" "Thought about this. We do not fear our world, we respect it. There is a difference. Fear makes you hide, respect makes you careful. Earth is dangerous, yes, but it is also beautiful. It is our home. We learned to live with the danger because the alternative was not living at all." "But you are so fragile," the soldier said. "Your bones break easily, your skin tears, you die from things that would not harm us." "Yes," agreed. "We are fragile, but we are also very good at healing. Human bodies can survive incredible damage and recover. We break, but we mend. That is our strength. Not that we do not get hurt, but that we heal from it and keep going." The soldier closed his eyes. "We are taught that strength is about not breaking, that a warrior who falls has failed." "On Earth, falling is normal," said. "Every human child falls hundreds of times while learning to walk. We fall, we get up, we try again. That is how we learn everything." Above the planet, Fleet Admiral is prepared to deploy his biological weapons. His finger hovered over the activation control. One press would release engineered viruses designed to kill all complex life on Earth's surface. "Sir," his communication officer interrupted, "we are receiving a message from the surface, from one of our injured soldiers in a human medical facility." "Put it through," is ordered. The face of the soldier appeared on screen. He was bandaged but alive. Behind him stood a human doctor and nurse. "Admiral," the soldier said, "I request you halt the attack. These humans saved my life. They had every reason to let me die, but they helped me. I have seen something here that we did not see on the other worlds we conquered." "What is demanded?" "Mercy," the soldier said. "The humans have mercy. They help each other survive this deadly world. They could be fighting each other for resources, but instead they cooperate, share, rescue, heal. That is their real strength, Admiral, not their weapons or their technology, their willingness to help each other and even help us." Is looked at the screen for a long time. Then he closed the biological weapons control panel. "Stand down," he ordered. His officers stared at him in shock. "Admiral, we cannot win this," is said quietly. "Not because the humans are stronger, because they are something we never encountered before. They are a species that became powerful by learning to help each other, by adapting instead of dominating, by respecting their world instead of conquering it." He pulled up surveillance footage from Earth. Children playing in parks, families eating together, rescue workers saving people from floods, doctors treating patients, teachers educating students. 8 billion humans living their daily lives on a planet that should have killed them all. "We conquered 47 worlds," is said, "but we never had to live on them. We dominated them and moved on. The humans had to stay on Earth, had to adapt to it, had to become part of it. That made them something we cannot defeat, not because they are warriors, because they are survivors. He opened a channel to Earth's government. This is Fleet Admiral Is. I request a ceasefire and peace negotiations. The response came within minutes. Granted, welcome to Earth. The peace talks took place in Geneva, a city in the mountains of Switzerland. Fleet Admiral Is walked through the human city and saw things he had not expected. People sat in outdoor cafes, drinking coffee in the cold mountain air. Children rode bicycles to school. Old people fed birds in the park. Everyone moved through their lives as if they were not living on one of the deadliest planets in the galaxy. Met him at the entrance to the United Nations building. The same human from the trading station, weeks ago. The one who had tried to warn them. You tried to tell us, Is said. I did, agreed. But you needed to see it for yourself. Words are not enough to explain Earth. Inside, the negotiation room was simple. A large table, comfortable chairs, windows that looked out over the city and mountains. The UN Secretary General sat at the head of the table. Minyu was there as well, the diplomat from the Amazon, and several others. Is sat down carefully. The chair seemed too small for him, but he managed. I am here to discuss terms of withdrawal, he said formally. Withdrawal is acceptable, said. But first, we would like to understand something. Why did you want to conquer Earth? Is was surprised by the question. Because that is what we do. The Empire conquers worlds. We bring order and civilization. To worlds that did not ask for it, Minyu said quietly. To worlds that need it, Is corrected. Deadly worlds that are uninhabited or barely inhabited. We make them useful, productive. Leaned forward. Admiral, may I ask you something? Of the 47 worlds you conquered, how many had intelligent life? 3, Is said. Simple creatures, tribal, we brought them advancement. And how many of those species are still alive? Is was quiet. The answer was 0. The 3 species had not survived the occupation. They were too tied to their worlds. When those worlds were changed, the species died out. We did not mean to destroy them, Is said. They were weak. They could not adapt. They were not weak, said. They were specialized, perfectly adapted to their own worlds. When you changed those worlds, you killed them, not with weapons, with change. Is had never thought about it that way. What do you want from this negotiation? He asked. First, peace, said. Second, a promise that you will leave Earth alone. Third, a favor. A favor, Is was confused. You pulled out a data pad. We want you to take a message to the rest of the galaxy, information about Earth and humanity, so that others do not make the same mistake you did. What message? Spoke now. Tell them that Earth is a Class 9 death world. Tell them that 8 billion humans live here. Tell them that we did not conquer this planet. We are products of this planet. We do not dominate nature. We are part of nature. And tell them this, added. Humans are persistence hunters. Do you know what that means? Is shook his head. On Earth, humans are not the strongest predators, not the fastest, not the largest. Lions are stronger, cheetahs are faster, elephants are bigger, but humans are the persistence hunters. We chase prey for hours, days. We do not give up. The prey runs until it collapses from exhaustion. Then we eat it. That is how our ancestors hunted for millions of years. What does this have to do with your message? Is asked. Everything, Minyu said. Humanity survived on Earth by never giving up, by adapting, by persisting. You can hurt us. You can kill some of us, but you cannot kill all of us, because some of us will always survive. Some of us will always adapt. Some of us will always keep going. Is understood. You are telling me that Earth is not just dangerous because of its environment. It is dangerous because of what that environment created. Exactly, said. Put a human anywhere and we will find a way to survive. That is what Earth taught us. That is what makes us terrifying to other species. Not our weapons, not our technology, our refusal to die. The treaty was written over the next 3 days. They would withdraw all forces from Earth. They would pay compensation for the damages they caused. They would share their technology and knowledge with humanity as a gesture of goodwill. In return, humanity would not pursue the fleet, would not seek revenge, would not report the Empire to other galactic governments as aggressors. But there was one more condition. "We want cultural exchange," said. "We want young to come to Earth, to study here, to learn from us, not military training, cultural education." Is frowned. "Why would you want that?" "Because the galaxy needs to understand Earth," Minu said. "And the best way to understand is to experience. Send us your young people. We will teach them how humans live, how we cooperate, how we survive. They will take that knowledge back to your empire." "You want to change us," Is said. "We want to show you another way," said. "The empire conquers through strength. That works on dead worlds. But eventually you will encounter another species like humanity. Species that become strong through adaptation and cooperation. If you only know conquest, you will fail. If you learn from us, you might survive." Is thought about this for a long time. Then he agreed. 3 months later, the first group of young arrived on Earth. 20 students, eager and nervous. Sara was assigned to be their guide. She took them hiking on a simple forest trail in the mountains near Seoul. They wore full protective suits and carried medical supplies. Sara wore jeans and a t-shirt. "This is a gentle trail," she explained. "Families with small children hike here on weekends. It is very safe." They looked at the trees pressing in from both sides, at the insects flying through the air, at the stream running beside the path, full of unknown bacteria. "Safe?" one of them asked nervously. Sara smiled. "By Earth standards, yes. You will learn those standards. By the end of your year here, you will understand what humans mean by safe, and dangerous, and impossible. You will learn that impossible is a word that means nothing on Earth." They hiked for 2 hours. Several had to stop and rest. The exercise was harder than they expected. Sora waited patiently with them. "How do human children do this?" one student asked. "They run," Sora said. "Children run up and down these trails for fun. They race each other. They play games. This is not training for them. This is entertainment." At the top of the trail, there was a view of the city below. Seoul spread out in the valley, millions of people living their lives. The students stared at it. "So many," one whispered, "all living on this death world." "Not a death world," Sara corrected gently. "Our world. Yes, it is dangerous, but it is also beautiful. Look at the sunset. Look at the mountains. Look at the city lights coming on. Earth tried to kill our ancestors for millions of years, but it also gave us all of this beauty. We learned to see both. The danger and the beauty, that is what makes us human." One of the students sat down on a rock and looked out at the view. "I think I am beginning to understand. You do not survive Earth. You live on Earth. There is a difference." "Yes," Sora said, "there is, and that difference is everything." She pulled out her communication device and checked the weather. "A storm is coming tomorrow. We should head back down." They looked alarmed. "A storm? Is it dangerous?" "A little," Sora admitted. "But if we get into trouble, search and rescue will come. Humans are very good at rescue missions. We have had a lot of practice." As they walked back down the mountain, one of the students asked, "Will you teach us to stop being afraid?" "No," Sora said. "Fear is healthy. Fear keeps you alive. But we will teach you to act despite fear, to keep going when you are scared, to help others when you want to run away. That is what humans do. That is what Earth taught us." Far above the planet, Fleet Admiral is watched from his ship. He had decided to stay in Earth orbit for a few more months, to observe, to learn, to understand what he had tried to conquer. He pulled up the official report he had sent to the High Council. It was simple and direct. Earth cannot be conquered, not because humans are militarily superior, because conquering Earth would require becoming like humans, Adaptable, cooperative, persistent. Any species that tried would change so much that they would no longer be themselves. Earth is defended not by weapons but by the nature of survival itself. He added one more line to the galactic database, a warning for any species that might think about attacking Earth. Earth is a Class 9 death world. 8 billion humans live there naturally. They are apex persistence predators. They do not conquer through strength. They survive through adaptation. They do not fear their world. They respect it. Do not engage unless you are prepared to learn rather than conquer. Do not underestimate them because they look fragile. They are the children of a world that tried to kill them for millions of years, and they are still here. Is closed the report and looked at Earth turning slowly below. The blue and green and white planet, beautiful and deadly, home to the most terrifying species he had ever encountered. Terrifying not because they were strong, but because they refused to give up. He understood now what had tried to tell him at the trading station. Earth had not created warriors. Earth had created survivors, and survivors were far more dangerous than warriors could ever be.